Hey guys, welcome back. Bolt Spider here, and today I'm with a different video. Now, I haven't done one of these in a while. That's because I stopped doing the traction of Yu-Gi-Oh content for a bit. But now, since I'm sneaking in the content again, I kind of just want to go over a few things of how I build my Yu-Gi-Oh decks. Now, this currently right here is my current list for my Orcust deck that took first place at my locals last week. And I was shocked that I took first place. I went 4 wins and 1 loss. So I had 12 points, and everyone else below me had 11 and less. Now, this deck, I had a few games that I bricked, but that's because I opened up World 1 and Orcust Nightmare, and some of the things that I would change would be things like the Scrap Recycler or even the Mathematician out, and take out the Impermanence. Now, I just want to kind of go through of how I build my decks. Now, for me, whenever I build a deck, like with Orcust, I've been playing this deck for a good 6 to 8 months now, and I played multiple different variants. And when I build a deck, I read all the cards in the archetype, so I understand what they do and how they function and what to put them at. So when I first started playing this deck, the little friend Phantomknight's Warrior Bardiche was released, or was legal to play, but now it's forbidden because it was abused in this deck. And honestly, I think it can come back off the list. But off the note of that, this card was your center point of the deck, where you link off your Galatea, the Orcust automation, link it off for Bardiche, and during your opponent's turn, you quick effect your skeleton, because Orchestrated Babble makes all your monsters quick effects, which this card is a stupid card. And you would summon back out Dingrisu, the Orcust of the Evening Star. And that allows you to send a card your opponent controls and pop a card your opponent controls, pop being destroy. And this deck changed up, so you played things like Nightmare Corruptor Ibly, which says your opponent cannot special summon except Link monsters. And you would also play the now forbidden Nightmare Mermaid, which summons out your Orcust Nightmare from your extra deck, because Nightmare Mermaid was the actual problem from the beginning, because it allowed you to go into the combo. Now, when I build my deck, I go, okay, what cards work and what cards don't? Cards that worked were Armageddon Knight and Scrap Recycler, but at the time, I was running Nightmare Ibly over Scrap Recycler. And this past Friday, I tested out Mathematician, and I think I'm going to be swapping over all my Scrap Recyclers to 3 Mathematicians and the Armageddon Knight. One of the things that my friend keeps telling me is to take out the dangers. I personally like the dangers because they are a extender and a play starter. And sure, I have to watch out for Nibiru the Primal Being, but with Nibiru, you need to summon more than 5 times. But if I only summon up to 4 times going into Galatea, I'm completely fine. Now, a few of my tech choices that I like playing, I really like playing Mind Control, because this card going second is great, since my deck is more towards going second, not going first. Now, if I was playing a going first deck, like I was playing the going first, it's a hybrid still, but I'm still trying to figure out which one to go for more. I tested out Cosmic Cyclone over Mind Control. And with this, I prefer Mind Control more, because most people at my locals play combo decks, and Cosmic Cyclone is not that useful. we do have the True Draco players and Guru Control and Altergate players, but Cosmic Cyclone is one of those cards that's iffy, in my opinion. And another card I dislike a lot is Impermanence. Impermanence always just causes me the brick, which is sad, but true. But this card is going to be cut out again and possibly put in the side deck for the 7th time. But those are kind of like my opinions on a few cards. But when I build a deck, I go, okay, I have the base. What engines work? What engines don't work? And what cards are good with it? People play Allure Darkness because the whole deck's dark and you can recycle the machines that you banish. I like playing Orchestrated Return because it is essentially a play starter. You activate Return, discard your Orcust. They go, oh, do I ash this or wait for the Orcust to go off? Thing that I tested was Foolish Burial. This card's pretty good. And right now I'm only playing one Cyber Dragon Nashter because I only own one. I would play 2 over the second copy of Scrap Recycler. That is for sure. And when you look at my extra deck, it is a lot of random nonsense. Or a couple cards that are nonsense. I have the Mega Fleet for Master, Winda for the Instant Fusion, and Thousand Eye Shreks. I'm thinking of cutting the Instant Fusions for something else. So I have a couple more spaces in the main deck. The 2 Dingarisus are staple, the 3 Galateas, and the 1 Longrisu are all staple. Now, this card right here, Unchained Abomination. Unchained Abomination is a great card that I highly recommend people play because it's 2 monsters including a link, 2+ monsters including a link monster. 67% of the extra deck are link monsters. If a card's on the field destroyed, destroy a card. If a monster is destroyed by battle, except this card, destroy a card. End phase, destroy a card. It is pretty much free advantage overall. One of the cards that people really haven't been picking up on is the Black Luster Soldier, the Chaos Warrior. And with this card, it is a great out to the new Shaddoll, cards, because Shaddolls like to target and destroy. But with Black Luster Soldier here, if you use a level 7 or higher monster as a material for the summon of this monster, your opponent cannot target this card with effects, also cannot be destroyed by your opponent card effects. So, Construct says no. The new Fusion says this says no to Construct, the new Fusion, and a lot of other things. The 2 staples I really like are Boral Sword and Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Phoenix is okay. I don't really go into him that much. But the star of the deck is IP Masquerena because a lot of times I use the IP Masquerena to go into a Galatea. So it's like, cannot be destroyed by battle and card effect. That's a plus. Other things, Hand Traps and Call by the Graves are staple in my book. People keep telling me to cut 1 Orchestrated Return, but I like the 2. Actually, Orcust Crescendo. I like the 2 because just in case if you already use one, you have a backup. You have insurance policy. I really like how the deck's been performing the past few weeks, and to be honest, this is nearing the final build, even though we have 2 more months left of the format since the next ban list comes out in exactly around 2 months. But a few things that I would change overall. I would cut the impermanences to the side deck. So that is 3 more spots. Cool, I have more things to mess around with. I would cut the scrap recyclers for another Mathman and another Nashter. Cool, I already filled those spots. So I pretty much have 3 open areas just for whatever. And I can even cut out the instant fusions so I can have a few more spots for more cards. People have been shifting away from the dangers. I've been shifting slower than others because running the 5-card danger engine is good, but I like adding that one Mothman because Mothman is a level 4 and it's a good card. If I were to cut instant fusion, I would be putting Azathoth in the deck because Azathoth is a pretty damn good card, I would say. And for people who are wondering, do you brick a lot because of all the high levels? No, I don't. I don't brick all that much. Nibiru is there because this deck's going second deck. And I really like that. Wand is great with return because it's a +2 in general. Because if you have a banished Orcust, you special summon it. That's more advantage to your whole field and hand count. So I might bump it back up to 3 because I like the card. Even if I brick into it, I set it for bait. And I think I'm getting near to be finishing this deck, which is great. If they do end up killing it in January, this is going to be a great final chapter for me for Orcust. Because I do have a lot of other things planned. And one of those things is a Time Thief deck. And you guys could just sink your eyes into it. This deck is stupid. It's really stupid. And I show people, they don't know how it works. But back with Orcust, I'm happy with how the deck is and where it's at. It's super balanced and everything. Well, anyways, if you guys did enjoy me just talking over how I build my decks, it's more of understanding the archetype, find what works for you, and find out what doesn't work for you. What cards do you want to run? What cards don't you want to run? And what would you like to try out? But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little talk. If you did, hit that like button down below. I upload every day at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch me uploading some Pokemon Sword and Shield soon, coming out in 2 days' time. Well, 1 day time, because I'm going to be uploading it on the 15th. And hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.